Hello, my name is Michael Mills, and today we are going to talk about fractions. And I have a couple word problems that I'm going to work through, and I would say that these are around third to probably anywhere from second to fourth grade problems. And problems. Let's talk about fractions a little bit. So fractions can be thought about breaking a whole into equal pieces. And so if I have this whole, this one circle represents my whole. And if I said I wanted to divide it into half, I would have these two parts. And each half is an equal piece that makes, and they're parts of one whole. So one whole can be divided into equal pieces, and in this example it's two equal pieces because I took my whole and divided it in half. And then there are several models that we can use for fractions, and this is an example of the area model. And then we have the linear model, which I'll do some of that on the whiteboard. And then we have the set model, and that's when we use these little chips. And so let's get started on our problems. So our first problem is, during lunch Michael decided to share a cracker with his three friends. If all four of them got an equal piece, how many pieces will Michael break the cracker into? Okay, so let's say we're going to start off with area model, and let's say that this cracker is our whole, and we need to divide it into, let's see, we have Michael and his three friends, so that's four people. And so if we want to take this one whole and get it to where each person has an equal piece of the cracker, we need to divide this into four equal parts. And I have done that here. And so we have we took our whole, which was one cracker, and divided it into four equal pieces. And so there's a cracker for Michael, let's say a cracker for Troy, a cracker for Brendan, and a piece of the cracker for, they don't each get a piece of the cracker for Michael, a piece of the cracker for Troy, a piece for Brendan, and a piece for Scott. And so this is using the area model to show that we took this one whole and divided it into four equal parts, with each person getting one piece of it. So to answer the question, if all four of them got an equal piece, how many pieces will Michael break the cracker into? He would have to break it into four pieces, so each person would get an equal piece of the cracker. And another way that we can look at this is, if we erase the problem here, we can draw out, if we said, so here's one, and we said that that was our cracker. The one whole equals the cracker. And so we said that he would divide it into four pieces. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so we can think about it is that Michael took the one cracker and divided it into fourths. So there's 1/4. Here's another fourth. There's another fourth. And then there's our last fourth. So we started with this one whole, and we took it and divided it into four equal pieces. And so each person would get a fourth of the one whole cracker. And okay, so we'll take that and erase this. Okay, so that's one problem when we use the area model and the linear model to show that. And so we'll go to our second problem, which got erased. Let's see. So Jarrett had 12 marbles that he wanted to give to his friends. If he has 3 friends and each friend gets the same amount of marbles, how many marbles does each child get? Okay, so let's start off with the set model for this one. And so we'll use these little chips. And so we'll do the yellow side up so you can see them better. And so we have 12. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12 marbles, and we have 3 friends that we want to give them to. So what we need to do is we need to look at our 12 and see what's a way that we could divide it out to where each person would get an equal amount of marbles. So the 12 is our whole. We need to break it off into 3 equal parts. And so if we start off with 12, so we start off with 12, and we have 3 friends, so we need to get it into 3 groups. And so there'll be groups of 4, because we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 for one friend, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the second friend, and 1, 2, 3, 4 for the third friend. And so we started off with our whole of 12 and broke it down into 3 equal groups of 4. So each friend would get 4 marbles from Jarrett because he had 12 and there's 3 of them. And so to divide it equally, he gave each of his friends 4. And it's kind of like when you're dealing cards. If there's 3 in front of you, you start out giving 1 to each, and you just go until you don't have any left. And if you look at it that way, we got the 3 equal groups of 4. And so that's another way to show the set model. Okay, and then a second way that we can do that is if we use the linear or the area model. Okay, so if we have a circle and we want to divide it into 12 equal parts, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we had our whole, so the whole represents the 12 marbles, and each slice is 1 marble. And so we can think about it is so we can take this and we'll divide it into our 3 groups. So these first 4 right here represent 1 friend. So there's 1 friend. And then these 4 right here represent our second friend first. And then these 9, 10, 11, 12, these last 4 represent the third friend. So if we look at this, we took our whole, which was divided into 12 equal parts, and we divided it into 3 groups, and each group having 4 equal parts. So each friend got 4 out of the 12 marbles. And so yeah, that is fractions. And so just some main points to take away from this lesson are that the biggest part of the biggest concept of fractions is that you're starting with a whole and you're trying to break it down into equal sized pieces. So kind of going back to the cracker, we have this one whole. Here, I'll put it on the white so you can see it better. So we have our one whole, and the goal of fractions is to represent equal parts, to break it down into equal parts. So like at the beginning we have this one whole, and we wanted to represent halves, and so we broke it down into 2 groups of 1 each. So 2 groups of 1 equal slice, yeah. And so this is the area model, and then we have the linear model, which is like the fourths that I wrote down, and there's actual tiles that you can use that I did not have. And then the last model is the set model, and that is when we're using the chips to represent our units, and we're dividing those into equal pieces. And so that was fractions.